All right. Did you watch the presidential debate?
Yes, I did. I watched half of it, the first half.
What were your thoughts? How do you think it went?
Um, I think a lot of questions didn't really go answered. Um, I thought a lot of the time was spent on rather like answering the questions with specifics, more of just like name calling or more he said, she said, or like more like attacks towards the other side rather than like supplementation of their own arguments.
Is that the reason why you turned it off?
Um, yeah, that and it was putting me in a bad mood. I was so excited. I sat down, I had a whole pizza, I had food, and I was getting into. I was like, this is fun. I don't remember last debate, but I was watching it, just put me in such a bad mood. It wasn't really fun to watch.
Was it the argumentative nature of like just kind of those cheap shots against each other? Was that what really put you in a bad mood?
I think that was half of it. So it was a lot of the cheap shots, and I don't know, just the vibe of both of the candidates were very so like I wasn't digging either one really that much.
Did you feel like either candidate was winning?
Um, yes, and yeah,
You want to explain that?
yeah. I feel like Trump did a better, in my opinion. Um, Harris said they had a lot of things that just canceled each other out completely. But I never heard Harris's plan on anything. I think she answered a little bit less than Trump did, and Trump had more of a clear cut plan, or not even that clear cut, but like like an outline of something he was saying. And Harris, I didn't really understand what she was
What issues matter most to you?
saying. Mostly economy. I would say housing and inflation.
Is it specifically like housing affordability?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yes, because I want to buy a house and I want to start renting soon.
Do you believe like property prices are too high?
Um, in certain places, yes. Here, nah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that much. But yeah, in general, property prices are high. Same thing with renting, and then inflation. But like inflation, you could say housing market inflation, but also just like normal inflation for other things.
How do you think each candidate would address those issues?
Um, I don't know how Harris would. I know since in her or in Biden's administration, I think they're like part of the problem of the housing because all these immigrants are getting their rent paid, and a lot of people are coming in. So I have no clue how she would do it. Trump, I also don't know. I don't know how either of them would, or I don't know how I think they would go to it.
So we'll say, how do you think that Harris would change direction from Biden, or do you think she'd stay like with what's currently going on? As far as like any policy changes, do you think she'll remain with what the Biden camp is doing?
I think she will, but I think she said she won't. But also, I've heard so many like vice versa statements from her. I've heard her say like maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago, she's against abortion, and now she might be for abortion. That's just an example. But like, so I think she would keep it relatively the same because she's so wishy-washy on her stuff. Like I've seen her do a lot of positions both ways.
Lastly, where do you get your news from, and then how often do you check those outlets or that outlet?
That's a good question. Definitely none of the major news sources. Um, mm, Most of my news is either I'm not into U.S. politics too much, The only things I would be into, like news-wise, is sports for European leagues, finance ones, which I just have like a newsletter, and then Brazilian politics. But that's more of just Brazilians talking shit about their people on WhatsApp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so those are my two.
Gotcha. Cool. Awesome. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.